Basketball fans, welcome back to Beyond the Box Score. If you are new here, subscribe to our channel for daily updates. AmeriCup 2025 is heating up, and tonight we've got the kind of matchups that define international basketball history. It's more than just stats, more than just highlights, it's the battles, the rivalries, and the predictions that could change the game. If you're ready to dive deep into the analytics, odds, and betting edges that no one else is breaking down, you're in the right place. When you talk about AmeriCup basketball, there are matchups that stand out on the calendar as statement games, and then there are battles that feel like heavyweight championship fights. USA versus Brazil has always carried that energy, and in 2025 it feels even bigger. This isn't just a game. This is basketball royalty going head-to-head, the most stacked roster in the tournament taking on one of the toughest, most disciplined teams in the Americas. For fans in the United States, this is the kind of clash that sets the tone for whether Team USA will dominate the AmeriCup or whether a giant like Brazil can force them into a real dogfight. The first thing to understand is that the USA enters this matchup as the clear favorite, and the sportsbooks make no secret of it. Most early lines have Team USA between -14.5 and -16.5 on the spread, depending on which book you check, with the moneyline floating around -2,000 for the Americans and anywhere from +750 to +950 for Brazil. The implied probability of those numbers is staggering. Oddsmakers are saying USA wins this game close to 90% of the time. But Brazil has history of being that team that can defy those numbers, grind out possessions, slow down pace, and make a heavily favored opponent feel uncomfortable. In 2011, 2015, and even in Olympic exhibitions, Brazil has shown they aren't afraid to go toe-to-toe with the stars in red, white, and blue. That's where this game gets interesting. This isn't a walkover, this is a potential trap. Statistically, the USA has been putting up numbers that look closer to an NBA All-Star team than a FIBA squad. Through the group stage, they've averaged nearly 96 points per game, shooting 51% from the field and 38% from deep. Their offensive efficiency is off the charts, with a 121.6 offensive rating per 100 possessions, easily the best in the tournament. Their defense hasn't been flawless, but when you have the athleticism they do, their ability to force turnovers at a 23% opponent possession rate creates easy fast break points and momentum swings that no one else in the AmeriCup can replicate. The Americans are running with a pace of 78 possessions per game, which is lightning fast compared to the average tournament pace of 70. They want to wear you out. They want to run you out of the gym. Brazil, by contrast, plays a more methodical style. They're averaging 81 points per game but are shooting 47% from the field and a tournament best 40.5% from beyond the arc. That perimeter shooting is their lifeline. The Brazilians know they don't have the sheer athleticism to go dunk for dunk with the USA, so their game plan relies on ball movement, stretching the floor, and hitting threes. Veteran point guard Marcelinho Huertas is still a maestro when it comes to tempo control, averaging 8.1 assists per game with a 3.4 assist-to-turnover ratio. That's pure experience, keeping his team composed under pressure. On the interior, Bruno Caboclo has been a two-way force, putting up 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks per contest. His rim protection will be tested against the waves of American forwards, but he's also been knocking down 35% of his threes, making him a mismatch nightmare if left open. Let's break this down player by player because that's where betting edges can show themselves. For Team USA, the scoring leaders have been a mix of athletic wings and shot creators. Take someone like Anthony Edwards, who has been averaging 18.6 points on 49% shooting. He's been the go-to guy in crunch time, and his scoring prop, often set around 16.5, looks like one of the best overs on the board in this matchup. Tyrese Haliburton has been the playmaker, averaging 7 assists per game, and his assist prop, often lined at 6.5, feels like a strong over given Brazil's tendency to collapse the paint and leave shooters open on kickouts. Jaren Jackson Jr., anchoring the paint, has been averaging 2.3 blocks per game, and sportsbooks usually shade his block line at 1.5. Against a team like Brazil that will be forced to take it inside at times, that over looks enticing. On the Brazilian side, Caboco's points plus rebounds line often hovers around 20.5. Given the volume he's been playing with and the rebounding pressure he'll face, the over feels live, but risky because foul trouble could derail it. Huertas' assist prop is usually set at 7.5, and while he's fully capable of hitting the over, the USA's pressure defense could limit his distribution. One sneaky prop is Leo Mindel's three-point attempts. He's been averaging close to 6 threes per game, hitting at 37%. Books often set his made threes line at 1.5, and against USA's collapsing defense, he may get the volume to smash that number. Now let's talk parlays and betting strategy. Straight bets on Team USA's moneyline are unplayable unless you're comfortable laying minus 2,000 for minimal return. The spread at minus 15.5 is more where the conversation starts. The Americans have covered in 3 of their last 4 AmeriCup games by double digits, and when they get rolling, their bench depth overwhelms opponents. A same-game parlay approach might be smarter here. USA to cover minus 15.5 combined with Edwards over 16.5 points and Jackson over 1.5 blocks could push odds into the plus 400 to plus 500 range, which is far more attractive. If you believe in Brazil keeping this closer than expected, pairing Brazil plus 15.5 with Huertas over assists and Caboclo over rebounds gives you a counter-narrative parlay with juicy payout potential. Totals also matter here. Books have been setting USA's totals around 172 to 176 combined points. With their pace, overs feel tempting, but Brazil's grind-it-out style creates risk. A key trend: when USA plays fast-paced teams, overs cash nearly 70% of the time. When they face slow, methodical teams like Brazil, the under hits closer to 60%. That's why the smart angle might be live betting. If Brazil can slow pace early, unders look sharp. But if USA is running in transition and putting up 30 points in the first quarter, the over is likely gone already. Fantasy and DFS players should pay attention too. Edwards and Halliburton are near locks for 30-plus fantasy points in this format, and Jackson's block upside makes him a sneaky play. On Brazil's side, Caboclo is a must-have due to his dual role as scorer and rebounder. Huertas is matchup dependent, but his assist upside could be worth a GPP swing. If you're looking for a deep sleeper, Raul Neto as a backup guard could steal minutes and put up a sneaky the 4th of May 12 line that pays off cheap salary. Advanced analytics tell the story of why this game matters. USA's effective field goal percentage sits at 59%. While Brazil's is at 54%. The real gap is in turnover ratio. USA forces 18 turnovers a game while only committing 11, giving them a +7 turnover differential, which translates directly into 9 to 12 free points per night. That's usually the killer against teams like Brazil, who thrive on structure but can crumble if they're forced into chaotic transition sequences. On the glass, Brazil has been solid, posting a 52% rebounding rate, but the USA's depth with multiple athletic bigs allows them to overwhelm in second-chance points. Expect the Americans to score 14 to 18 second-chance points compared to Brazil's 8 to 10. That 8-point margin in extra possessions can be the deciding factor. So where does all of this leave us? The USA has every edge on paper: depth, pace, athleticism, star power, and a statistical profile that suggests dominance. Brazil's hope lies in hitting threes at a high clip and controlling tempo. If they can keep USA under 85 possessions and shoot above 40% from 3, they can cover the spread and maybe even make the Americans sweat. But the likelihood of doing both is slim. Most projections give USA a 91% win probability, Brazil a 9% upset chance. The betting play comes down to how you see tempo. If you believe USA can dictate pace, the -15.5 spread is playable, and pairing it with Edwards and Haliburton props makes for a strong parlay. If you lean toward Brazil mucking this up, the under on total points and Brazil plus 15.5 is the way to go. Personally, the value looks better on the Americans' side. Their ability to blow games wide open in the second half has been consistent, and Brazil's bench simply can't hang for 40 minutes. Final prediction: USA 92, Brazil 74. The Americans cover the spread, Edwards drops 20+, Haliburton hits double-digit assists, and Jackson racks up 2+ blocks. For bettors, USA -15.5 with a lean to the under feels sharp. For prop hunters, Edwards over points, Jackson over blocks, and Caboclo over rebounds stand out. For DFS, Edwards and Caboclo are must-haves, with Haliburton and Huertas offering upside. At the end of the day, the USA reasserts dominance, and Brazil, while competitive early, gets buried under the relentless athletic waves of Team USA basketball. If you love basketball beyond the headlines and you want sharp predictions, betting insights, and breakdowns that give you the edge, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and drop your picks in the comments. This is Beyond the Box Score, where we turn numbers into winning plays. Don't miss a single game.